This is Minesweeper. This is Minesweeper first person, and this is Minesweeper the first person horror game. Is it any good? Is it fun to play? In order to answer these questions, we have to start at the beginning and build the entire game from scratch. The first thing to do is we need to make the sky a little spookier. Then we add a cube in the middle, and done. Just kidding. The real first step is to make the grid and fill it with all the bombs. I made a little spooky room and then wrote a script to automatically generate an 8x8 grid of them to serve as the Minesweeper grid, and then I made it mark off some of the rooms as having the bombs in them. Am I going to get demonetized for saying bomb so much in this video? Oh wait a minute, I'm not monetized.
Subscribe!
I added a first-person character controller from one of my previous games and started walking around, but it wasn't that spooky. So I turned down the lights, added a flashlight and some post-processing effects, and it was starting to get a la spook. But there's no gameplay. You just walk around this empty house in the dark, kind of like me at 3 a.m. when I'm trying to take a piss in the middle of the night. Now in normal Minesweeper, you use these numbers which tell you how many bombs there are surrounding the tile to use your big brain and deduce where the rest of them are. Now my first thought was to put these numbers right on the floor in the middle of the room, but what kind of Neanderthal game design is that? So instead I made it so that way you have this little device and it's got all kinds of gadgets and gizmos which kind of give you the information the same way the number would. And now for the moment you've all been waiting for. The monster. What should it be? Well, let's get some inspiration. Alright, so here we are at YouGov.com with the most famous people. Number one here is Leonardo DiCaprio, Michelle Obama, Jim Carrey. Yeah, these people are all kind of normal. Ooh, Zuckerberg, the Zuck. We all know that Zuck is actually a lizard.
Are the allegations true that you're secretly a lizard? I'm gonna have to go with no on that.
You can't fool us with this new rebrand, Mark. We know that you're trying to cover it up even more. Let's create his true form. I took this picture of him I found online and plastered it over this face of a mannequin head. Then I gave him lizard eyes and sharp teeth. And then I found this lizard model and I ripped his head off and replaced it with this new Zuck head. Oh gosh, that is horrific. But how does he move? Does he just walk normally? What the hell am I doing? Well, you've seen here folks, this is the Zuck's final form. I plopped him into our little horror game, and I gotta be honest with you, I was legitimately quite terrified. He just stands there and does nothing, and my brain knows that he can't move because I haven't added that ability yet, but I still get chills down my spine when I catch him out of the corner of my eye. Now before we actually add the jump scare, I want to add a little bit of teasers to sort of get the blood flowing so it's even more impactful when it happens. So I found these horror sound effects online which have like a 1 in 10 chance of playing when you open up a door. Occasionally the Zuck peers out from behind the corner. And then there's also that little scuttle animation I was talking about. Here's where it comes in handy. When you open up the door, he just quickly runs across the floor or the ceiling. And in case you're wondering why you punch the door instead of just opening it normally, it's because I wanted the jump scare to be really fast and really sudden. Kind of like how in Minesweeper, when you click a bomb, the game ends immediately. And now we're finally ready to add the jump scare. But I think the best way for you to see it is in context. I'm going to give you full warning here, there is a jump scare coming up in this video. When this timer reaches 0, there's going to be a jump scare, okay? So now you know. Alright, shall we? Alright, so now this one's not going to be a jump scare, don't worry. See, we're all good, everything's good in the neighborhood. This one's not going to be a jump scare, don't worry, everything's good. Ah! Isn't that so much more impactful than just showing a bomb going off? After I added the jump scare, the game went from pretty cerebral to very intense. One false move and Zuck is there. But after that, I added a very lazy windscreen which triggers if you unlock 80% of the safe rooms. Why 80% and not 100% like Minesweeper? Well, it turns out there's a lot of situations where the bombs form a wall which blocks off an entire section of the map that you can't walk to. So instead of working out a pathfinding algorithm or whatever a smart person would do to check for this, I just do this hacky solution instead. But just like that, the game is complete. If you want to give the game a try, you can go to the link in the description, as always. Like this video if you want to see Zuck scare more people, and subscribe if you want more games. Join the Discord, sub on Patreon, and watch some more of my videos. I'll see you in the next one.